You are amazing, right? Can you see in a very simple way, with a very simple thought, that you're absolutely incredible? You're mind-blowing. If you don't, nice, thank you. If you don't see that, you're not lined up with the way reality sees you, with the way that your higher self sees you, with the way that truth sees you. If you don't see you're epic just by being you, then you're missing the point. You're missing the truth, the very obvious truth of your existence. So, can you reach for the thought that believes, that knows, that sees, that observes? Again, thought is way more than just a word in the mind. It's an entire observation. It's an entire point of view. It's an entire reality in and of itself. It's an angle. It's a complete existence. So can you feel amazing in whatever way that resonates for you, in whatever way that feels easiest and most profound for you? Can you tap into that thought? Cool. Can you do it again? Can you choose another thought that is similarly awesome, but slightly different angle? Can you choose another thought that also sees yourself as epic and amazing, but from a slightly different angle yet again, for another reason perhaps? What other reasons are there? What other ways of seeing yourself are there that allow you to be seen and known as complete epicness? Creation in a body, infinity embodied. And not even really that, just on the expressionate level. But still, that's pretty epic. Can you see that? Good. Can you see this once a minute for 10 seconds a minute, 2 hours in a row? Can you, over the next week, can you set aside 2 hours in your schedule where you don't feel too occupied with other things that take up too much mind space? And for 10 seconds per minute, can you pick the thought that feels best to you? For 2 hours straight, that means 120 times, 10 seconds, once every minute. Set a timer if you want to, that goes off every minute. I have not had the time today to create that application, but maybe we can create one pretty soon. But something along those lines, where you actually set aside time to give yourself 2 hours to discover the fact that you can master your frequency, very simply. Simply by picking a thought, picking a thought, picking a thought, picking a thought, picking a thought. As soon as you realize and recognize and notice and become aware of and observe and experience the fact that you can choose your thoughts, and by thoughts, again, I mean your vibration, who you are in that moment, who you exude yourself as, what you impose upon the presence energy that's available to you as consciousness. The more you recognize that, the more you acknowledge that, the more you choose that, the less likely or able, I should say, you are to feel like a victim, to feel like a questioner, to feel like a seeker. How can you feel like a seeker when you know that it's up to you what you want to experience? You're always seeking a feeling. You're always seeking a state of realization. If you realize you can activate that state of realization, why would you be seeking? Why create spirituality? I hope that by the time I die, spirituality dies with me on this planet. So depending on how well you do, I'll either die very young or I'll die very old. Either way, I'm not leaving until that job is done. So catch on. Notice that you create your reality, because you can and you want to. That's why you're here. So can you make this commitment to yourself right now that you, in the next week, over the next week, before the next meeting, can set aside 2 hours on a single day. It doesn't have to be every day, just one day, just one segment is enough. Of course you can repeat it to whatever extent, or you can do it for 10 minutes whenever it feels good, or you can just do it sporadically throughout the day. Perfect, excellent. But at least I want you to do this 2-hour challenge for yourself, if it resonates, if it excites you, if it feels potent and powerful. And when you do that, again, you'll see, experientially, you start to feel a shift in identity from victim, and you don't even know you're victim until you see that you're a creator. So you'll start to actually feel how much you are the chooser of your reality, and all this victimization that you weren't even aware of starts to disappear. And there's way more victimization that you're not aware of after those 2 hours, but that's the next stage, that's the next level. But at least for now, a large portion of your unconscious feeling victimized by creation, being victimized by that which is actually your slave energy, which is actually at your disposal, which is actually put in place for you to utilize and choose and put a frequency into so that it starts shaping a pattern. Have you seen those videos where the water starts to make certain patterns when a certain sound vibration is imposed upon it? Or certain substances, doesn't even have to be water, but certain substances start to take shape, or like sand on a table starts to take shape in a particular beautiful pattern, depending on what sound vibrations are imposed upon it, right? The vehicle or the system that creates the sound vibrations equals consciousness. The sound vibrations equal your thoughts, and the substance that takes shape equals the presence energy that you perceive and experience yourself through every day. So, for 2 hours straight, doesn't mean you can't go about your day, as long as you take 10 seconds out of every minute, without fail. Don't judge yourself if you miss a minute, but have the intention be to not make concessions on this. Pick the thought that feels best and feel it for 10 seconds straight. And then let it go, let it slip, let it slide. Be aware from that new state, be aware of whatever is appearing. And then your alarm goes off again, or you remind yourself, or you're looking at the clock, and another full minute has passed. And you remember very clearly, very vividly, you take those 2 to 5 seconds to remind yourself, oh, I'm supposed to be choosing something right now. And then you choose whatever thought you have access to about how amazing you are, how epic life is, how possible the thing is that you truly desire to be, how possible everything is, how powerful you are, what true power is, what true freedom is. Along those lines, you start thinking, you start resonating, you start vibrating. And then you start to learn, in the matter of 2 hours, you start to shift your identity completely. And I promise you, you'll never be the same after those 2 hours. This will last you a lifetime and more. Simple, right? 2 hours out of a lifetime. Ensuring yourself a much happier, more potent, more powerful, more creator type of life. It's worth it. It saves you years of spiritual seeking. 2 hours of what I just suggested will save you years of spiritual seeking. It's a pretty good deal. I think. It's a pretty good deal. Is that a yes? Yes? I only heard 30%. Is that a yes? Yes. Good. Good. Are you excited? Are you excited to try it out? Are you excited to put it to test? Okay, good. So you're going to see very powerfully how your energy starts to become yours for the first time ever, maybe for some of you. You start to experience how your energy becomes yours. You start to feel really powerful. Don't get freaked out. You start to feel really fucking powerful. Don't get freaked out. Be excited. Enjoy it. I'll repeat, you'll start to feel really freaking fucking powerful. Don't freak out. It's what you are. You are God. And this will make the previous 2 weeks, which are available on YouTube for those that haven't seen it, at least they are right now, which are called Become a Manifestation Powerhouse and Imagineer Your Life. You can look it up. It will amplify these meetings, and it will make it that much more sensible for you, and it makes sense suddenly what it means to impose yourself upon your surroundings. What I mean by that will suddenly become clear. To impose your vibration upon everything you see, to see only your preference. Because when you choose that thought once every minute, possibly for the rest of your life, until it becomes pretty constant, but at least for those 2 hours, you start noticing that from that place of vibration, you stop caring about what happens, and you start simply deciding what happens. Like I said, you're going to be freaking powerful. You start to decide what happens instead of await what happens. Can you imagine? Do you feel worthy of that? Yes. Are you sure? Good. 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 Who would have thought that you can decide what happens? Oh my God, that's so selfish. Is it? Who am I? Who am I to decide what happens? Right? Only freaking God. Only the absolute. Only infinity. That's all. All there is. That's all you are. There's nothing else besides you, but who are you? In all of creation, who are you? All of creation. So, feel worthy of this. Know that this is your destiny. And if we all start doing this, lack will disappear from the face of the earth. The secret is that it has never existed. It doesn't exist now. But every manifestation that we would call a lack manifestation is a manifestation of our ability to perceive, to see, to choose, to prefer lack. We've been preferring lack over power, over abundance, over freedom, over choosing. We've been choosing victimization and being the slave instead of being the slaver or the creator for so long that now the mentality is that if we try to do anything else, we get lynched or we get hung, or we're not worthy of that type of freedom. We're not worthy of that type of power. I'll repeat once again, if you do this for 2 hours, shit's gonna happen. You're gonna feel really freaking powerful. Are you excited about that? Yes. Good, very good. I'm very happy with your receptivity and your sense of self-worth. That's great. After all, you exist, so you must be here for a reason. You must be here to create something. And we all know what we're here to create. Even if the specifics may not be as clear to our verbal mind, we know we all have a sense of our purpose. Even if it's just a glimpse, even if it's just this very abstract, blueprintish sort of feel. We all know that we're here for some reason, for some type of expression. This will amplify, this will speed up. And that which you cannot perceive of yet as your purpose will be yours and will be achieved within a matter of months, and then the next thing occurs. That which you kept at bay for years, just as this distant feeling like, yes, I am meant for something. I know I'm meant for something. I know there's purpose in me. I know there's expression in me. I know I'm creative somehow. But I'll figure it out like one day before I die, something along those lines. Or when I get really sick and I'm forced to look at it, I'll realize it then. That thing that you've always felt to be distant, to be in the future, suddenly it's going to creep up on you real fast. If you start making the shift from being a victim, a beggar, to being a creator, a god. And then when it creeps up on you so fast, because literally what you're doing is you're creeping up on it, you're speeding up along the line of your blueprint, the line of your theme, the timeline, quote unquote, of your theme, of your expression itself, then suddenly that thing which was already present in your consciousness as this vague future sense has now been surpassed. And so another sense of purpose has to arrive, has to be infused into this life. In a sense, higher consciousness realizes the state of our planet, the state of our belief systems, so it's been conservative. It's like, well, okay, let me just place this much purpose in this single life, this much of a theme of exploration into this life. Because chances are that, this being gets a little astray with all the beliefs that are present and all the energetic imprints that it gets from parents and friends and society. And it's susceptible because that's part of the game of this third density physical reality experience that we choose. But when you step up to the plate, to the game, and you actually own that portion of your theme, of your expression, of your purpose, and you master it and you not transcend it, but exceed it in a sense, because you fulfilled it, then suddenly your higher self gets really excited. And it infuses so much more purpose into that same lifespan that it didn't expect you to even fulfill. But now your life starts to accelerate. Now your theme starts to expand. Now these things start to manifest for you and appear to you, and these experiences that you want to learn from start to, again, accelerate. You start to speed up, literally speed up, because everything is vibration. If you speed up your vibration, your life will speed up. The speed with which you learn your lessons will speed up. The speed with which you expand yourself and become more of your true higher self here in a physical crystallized expression, net version of that, will speed up.